Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris the High Guy Jacobs. And today we've got another episode of Who TF Are You? Sitting across the mic from me today is the one and only Pixelcookie. Pixelcookie, welcome to the channel. Go ahead and say something about yourself.
Hi guys, I'm known as Pixelcookie in game. I've been playing for about over a year. I would say I do not know the exact number. I keep forgetting. But my main focus is infantry, and I'm at 96 million might.
96 million, just about to unlock tier 6, I hear.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow, you've been participating in Top Commander. What's your points looking like so far?
So currently overall I'm holding number one.
Oh! And what are you sitting at for
I'm
points?
392 million.
Oh, Jesus. I think I'm
I've
only...
been saving for 3 months.
Well, it's good. I mean, if you're going to spend it, you're going to spend it all together and make sure that you get the best out of it.
Yeah.
I'm currently stuck in second right now, so I'm okay.
Oh, dang.
The first is like 40 million points ahead, so I'm like, I don't think I'll get to that yet.
Oh, I'm currently 62 million points ahead.
Yeah, I'm not coming back from that. I'll take second or third. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, because you got to take whatever's like whatever's coming your way.
That's right. Just save up for when you can, participate when you can, and just be happy with the results that you get.
Yeah, but
Right?
I was a nose wreck. I really annoyed my friends right before TC.
Why?
This is my first actual TC.
Yeah.
I've never participated in TC before this, like since they released this All-Star Night
Oh, really?
event. Yeah, this is my first one.
So hold on, let me ask you a couple quick questions. Did you you participated in Splendid Steel?
Yeah.
How many did you use?
I used the 1148.
Okay, good. So you're over the limit. Now, are you planning on participating in the Great Hunter event?
No, I'm way below the limit, so I don't think I will. I will just save up until I have enough.
Okay, and you need 1,000. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
good. You wouldn't believe how many people I've spoken to who don't know you need to use 1,000 arrows to get the bonus.
Actually, now that you've mentioned it, I recently found out a lot of people in my alliance don't know how TC works.
Really?
Yeah, so a player of ours, this is like something I've taken very seriously. A player of ours ended up spending everything he had saved on the first day of TC because he did not know that we have phases. And trust me, he had a lot of stuff because on the first day itself, just through speed ups and the files, he scored over 85 million points.
Well, I guess I have to do another video that you can share with him on how to do Top Commander.
Yeah, so that's why I've been like posting. I've been posting like a face-to-face video every day to help people, because a lot of people I've realized don't know like how to properly participate. Even though they know like how each phase works, they do not use proper strategy, and they end up using just like everything however they want.
It's it's a tough lesson to learn, but there is a very specific way to participate in Top Commander to ensure that you guarantee yourself good placements.
Yeah, because you need to use everything efficiently, I feel like.
Yep. It's not, and it's even about being smart to save up for that last phase as well, because so much can be lost in that last phase if you're not careful.
And now with the points limit on the speed ups on day one, you have to be very careful not to overspend, because that will help you in the last phase.
Yeah, well, especially if you're not overspending in that first one. I mean, when they start to limit the amount of points you can get, you start to realize exactly where you want to be strategic on it. You know what I mean? Like as soon as they set those 100 million limits, you're like, oh, okay, so I don't want to dump 150 million points here because I only get 100.
Because you're still getting 200 points per minute in the last phase. So that's better than, nothing.
Than getting counted for nothing, exactly.
Though I feel like a lot of players don't realize that, like, even I am really excited to open tier 6. I could have easily, like, used everything on day one and got it. But, like, I was like, if I'm going to participate, I'm going to do it the right way.
Yep. TC is one of those events where you have to be careful about it because
Mm-hmm.
it's how do I put this? It's one of the best events for acquiring heroes and leveling up heroes, like specific
Mm-hmm.
heroes. But it's one of the most frustrating, specifically since they opened it to multi-regional aspects. So now that
Yeah.
you're sharing that with anybody, like you're not just
Mm-hmm.
worrying about your own region whales anymore, you're worrying about every whale. That's a
Mm-hmm.
problem. That's a problem.
Definitely. Because as we talked before we started recording, there's a whale in my TC 347 million might.
Mm-hmm.
They were nowhere to be seen like the first 2 days. All of a sudden, training day, I see like they've scored over 100 million.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, like they've scored over 300 million now. Just like in 2 days, I was like, huh, what is happening? Am I doing something wrong?
Am I losing it? Well, no, because
Yeah.
here's the thing. Once you get to tier 6, like once you get and this is part of the game, I think, where the developers are starting to release things as quick as they are. Because here's the
Mm-hmm.
thing, once you get past your research, right? Once you get to tier 6 where your research is almost done, your construction is done, right? There's
All
really
that's
not
left to do
much.
is train.
Exactly. You're training troops, you're speeding up
Mm-hmm.
troops, and that's about it. So on day 1, you're setting 3 stacks of 50, 52,000 troops, which
Mm-hmm.
isn't
Mm-hmm.
going to get you very much in speed ups, right? Like it'll give you a couple tens of thousands or tens of millions of points, but nothing to
Yeah.
write home about until you start doing training day, when all of a sudden you
Mm-hmm.
drop, 300,000 tier 6 troops or a million tier 6 troops and sitting at 1,000,000 points or 100 million points.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, don't worry, you got yours coming up tomorrow.
Really excited, but that's just one. So, like, the next goal is to unlock all of them.
I'm contemplating sitting on tier 6 infantry as long as I can because of how expensive they are to heal. I
Oh,
haven't
yeah,
thought.
I've heard about it. But I've been called a resource mafia in my region. Somehow, I always have
Oh,
resources.
you always have resources.
Always.
Yeah.
Like, there was a week where I gathered over 1 billion of food and wood each in a week.
Okay. How
That was,
how Jesus.
I have fun. I have fun.
Yeah, Jesus. How many accounts do you have? Jesus.
Okay, so honestly, just like my main and my farms, I have four of them, including my main.
Yeah.
I have three farms and one main account. But if you're gonna ask in like overall, because I do run bots for my alliance,
Sure.
so I have like over 30.
Yeah, but the bots you're not really dumping yet any
Oh yeah.
resources into, right?
No, but I use it for the fake monopoly, the district showdown.
Cheater.
That's not cheating.
I mean, that's kind of cheating.
No, is it?
I mean, it's kind of cheating.
A lot of people do that. You know that, right?
Yeah, that doesn't make it. Just because people do it doesn't mean it's not cheating.
You should start to. I'm telling you, it's been. But honestly, like even though we do use the bots, we obviously it's not easy to get through all 30 of them like
No,
thrice
it
a
takes
day.
so much time. I got 8, and it's enough for me. Like,
Yeah. So honestly, and I'm not running them alone. I do 15, and a friend of mine does 15. So we have 30 bots for the alliance, but by the time we do like five accounts for the district showdown, we're so tired. We're like, let it be. Never mind now.
yeah, exactly. Thank God for the auto function.
Yeah. Even then, like when you're in the challenges and when you have to defeat troops, like what is that? Like such a small account is not going to defeat it.
And now you have to ask for help all the time.
Yeah, and then you just wait. You just sit and wait.
See, there's part of me that goes these like there's the only reason why I turn bots on during during fight times. You know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
everyone loves to have them. They're good to have on your team, and of course, all the top teams have them and stuff like that to help with taps and resources
Mm-hmm.
and things like that to heal, micro heals and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure you can blatantly agree with me. It is a hassle for the people
Oh,
actually manipulating them. And
definitely. Now that you've brought this up, for the past 2 days, like since day before yesterday, I guess, we've been facing a lot of issue with the bots. For some reason, they keep shutting down, and
If you don't
we do
mind me
not
asking,
understand why. Hmm.
how do you guys do them?
We have gaming PCs.
Sure, but do you open like are you using BlueStacks? Are you using the
No,
game
no, the
itself?
DLS, the game itself.
Just opening up multiple instances and using a macro,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I do the same thing. But I think a lot of it's coming down to the server issues that they're having. Because like
Yeah.
the game server issues are becoming insurmountable. I mean, if you look at the G1, for example, if you don't play on optimized, there's no playing. The servers just crash because of all the troops on the
Yeah.
screen.
And I don't know why, but like for the past month or so, I've heard a lot of from I've heard a lot from Indian people that exactly at 8 p.m. our time to 10 p.m. our time, the servers crash for us every day.
Really
Like yeah, exactly at that time. It's been happening every day.
weird. Maybe that's just when they're doing their refresh.
I don't know because it's not happening to anyone else. And if I'm using a VPN, the game is working fine.
Really?
Yeah.
IGG, you better respond to this.
Because honestly, I found this really weird because I've spoken to all of my friends from the alliance. I'm texting them on Telegram like, "Is this happening to you as well?" And they're like, "No, what are you talking about?" But yeah, like for the past month, and then a friend of mine, I think you might know her, Cat,
Yeah,
Spicy
yeah.
Cat.
Spicy cat.
She told me like I should try using a VPN and it'll help, and it did. And IGG, we texted IGG, and they told us that it's an issue with our network provider, but everything else works fine. Just this particular game goes down.
That's fucked up. Pardon my French.
Yeah.
That's a little messed up. That's a little messed up,
Yeah.
IGG. Look, I get IGG focusing on a specific demographic with their
Mm-hmm.
time, with their GW time selection and
Mm-hmm.
on their sign up events and things like that. I understand them, hyper focusing one demographic, but
Mm-hmm.
that's a little over the top. Come on. Come on.
Right. And it does not sound like an issue with our network providers.
Well, no, especially when we have tons of examples of IGG just shitting the bed. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Z or Zed right now is in conversation with them about a Stella bug that the
Mm-hmm.
developers, I guess, aren't dealing anything with right now because they don't even agree that it's actually happening. When he's like, "Well, here's the proof. Here's the evidence that it's actually
Mm-hmm.
happening," and they're like, come on, it's actually doing what it should be." You're like,
I mean, it was the same thing with the Christmas event, the warm winter event,
yep,
when they messed up with the table
yep.
for the. I was one of them because I'm so excited for the new skin. I literally killed zombies all morning and got all of the skin, all the levels. I got the skin and stuff. And then they send a mail saying, there was a bug.
Yep. And then when I went to talk to them about it, they're like, "Okay, no problem. We'll go ahead and just switch out the because instead we ended up giving you mittens. Gave you mittens
Mm-hmm.
instead. So we'll switch out your mittens and we'll
Mm-hmm.
give you those snowflake awards." And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, "I already used those mittens. What do you mean? Give them back? How am I supposed to earn 600 more mittens?"
I did.
I listen. I ranked in the top 15th or 16th. I ended up getting the skin for 3 days. Okay, I got the skin
Oh,
for
wow.
3 days. But here's my point.
Infantry dream.
I know it's a beautiful skin for infantry. It's awesome, but it punches me
Right?
that I only get it for 3 days, so I'm never gonna use it. It'll
You're just
sit
going to
in.
keep saving it for a
I
rainy day.
I will have that coupon in my bag forever. I have one. Listen, I have one for the Tyrannosaur skin. Okay, if you
Yeah.
remember the Tyrannosaur skin, I have one
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
that, and I have one from the My Shirai airship skin.
Yeah.
Right? I have coupons for like 1 and 3 day vouchers, and I'm never gonna use them.
Um, Actually, people do not realize this, but the buff is actually useful when you fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, a few people from our alliance did end up getting it for a day. and they used it as soon as they got it. And I was like, no, what did you do?
If you're gonna use it, and that's a very big if. You'd have to pay me a lot of money to use it. If you used it, you got to make sure you use it during an event.
Right? And I was like, no, what did you do? If I had it, I would never use it.
Never.
Seriously, it was like crazy. It was a beautiful skin.
I'm leaving that one in my bag forever. Okay, you have no idea. It's never getting used. It's pretty. The coupon looks great. The voucher, awesome.
I tried getting it, but it was so difficult because I feel like everyone wanted it. It is one of the best looking skins yet.
I think it's one of the better looking skins, but I think the buffs are probably one of. I mean, they give you HP, and like HP is so hard to get already. So you give me HP on anything, I'm
You're taking it.
You know, I'm weak at the knees. You know what I mean?
Take it and run.
That's right. Yeah, not very fast because infantry's slow as fuck. But you know. So let's get back to the conversation here, Pixel. You've been in the game now for, you said over a year. I remember we asked beforehand, it was 557 days, so that is a year and a half. You're doing much better than you thought. You're just about to unlock Tier 6. Let me ask you a question. In that last 557 days that you've been playing, what is one of the most memorable releases that you can think of?
Oh, wow. Memorable releases.
Whether a hero, whether an addition to the game, an update, whatever it is, one of the best additions that you can think of in your history that the developers did well.
You remember when they released Bard? That was, honestly, that was like when, that was about like May, June, I remember. And I feel like Bard and Lynn were one of the best heroes they had released at that time. And I had already been saving because, we had heard gossip on the general chat on Discord that, new hero might be coming. So I was like, I'm going to save up. And then that was the first, only like when we had the region TC.
Right.
That was the first TC that I participated in. So I was really excited for that one because Bard really got me excited.
Did he?
Until they made him an S rank hero.
Well, I think, Bard is one of those ones that, again, fits a very specific role. You don't see him fighting in the field as much. You don't see him, fighting in garrisons as much. I mean, he really is your rally hero. He really is your kind of defensive rally hero that brings kind of that range defensive strength that they need.
Yeah, definitely.
And so what I've kind of noticed in the heroes, especially the ones that they've released, it's like they release one that has a very specific use, and then one that has more of a like if you look at the Stella and Bodala releases, for example, right? Stella is really kind of pigeonholed into siege, into rally leaders and sieging, but Bodala is quite versatile. I mean, he can pretty much run anywhere. Even he even does pretty okay in garrison, even though some of his skills are specific to not doing in garrison.
Yeah.
Right, and then he got buffed. So since his buff, he's been doing much better.
Actually, now that we're talking about it, do you remember when they released the shipment center and the survivors? I really like that update as well. Like that might be like a close second to the one that released Bard.
Yeah.
Because the shipment center, I'm a very low spender. I spend barely like $20 a month.
Sure.
So for me, like the shipment center and the survivors really help because survivors are quite easy to get. You're getting those search things from everywhere.
Yep.
And the shipments have so many rewards that were, previously very rare and hard to get.
It's more accessible to like your vehicle upgrades and your survivor upgrades for sure. Yeah, there's more avenues to get more of those rewards, 100%.
Yeah, and even like with the search maps, they've included that as well. So I feel like that was a good addition.
You mean when they changed the heroes that were available?
Yeah, Lewis was added to the police station.
Yeah. So they've done some things like, so Lewis was originally available in the police station a long time ago, and then they took him away. So they've done some kind of, and they did the same thing when they put Martin back in the radar store compared to where Sarah is now. So they've moved some things around which make heroes more accessible. But this is exactly what I've been talking about. So if you look at the game previously, and this is one thing we were talking about when it comes to why there's so many infantry mains compared to the rest. It's because the game used to be so much more, so much less accessible to the average player, right? So they have opened up some of these avenues greatly, where you can select your heroes for TC, you can select your heroes for the roulette wheel, you can select your heroes pretty much every avenue that you want, so you can pick and choose, right? However, they've just released so much stuff that it's hard to figure out which stuff to focus on the most. What's going to be the most impactful? Do I put my money on the vehicle? Do I put my money in armaments? Do I now put my money in beasts? Like where do I get the biggest bang for my buck?
Exactly, because honestly, like I've spoken about this on like a few videos of mine. I only get the gold monthly pass every month because that's a great value. And I mean, for $40 you can actually grow a lot every month by just spending like $20.
Yep.
You're getting 4,000 gold. So I am so confused. Like, what do I spend on? Like, I want the skin because now they're releasing more skins with healing buff. And then I know that they have like the limit, but even then I haven't reached my limit because I recently just started spending like maybe August, September.
Sure.
So and now with the beast, I really don't understand the beast because I've seen a lot of people spending on it, and I was like, we do not even understand what they are yet.
It's just another avenue to spend on. And I'm still unsure personally how influential they're going to be. Because even looking at current reports, granted, I don't have any, massive leveled beasts or anything yet. I think the highest I have is like a level 29 or something. But even the damage on those ones is, I mean, it's negligible in comparison. So I'm really kind of curious how influential and impactful these beasts are end up going to be inevitably anyways.
And oh my God, they're so confusing. They're a mix of literally everything we have on the game, right?
Right.
Yeah. And then right before like we started our conversation, I was on Discord and I noticed that the developers actually had to release a guidelines manual.
Oh, did they? For the beasts?
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm going to have to go over that.
Because I feel like there's been a lot of questions like, what is this? What is that? Like, how do we develop them? And then there's something about transcending once you reach level 20. And it's crazy. It's a mix of everything we have. Armaments, heroes, shipments, survivors, like name it, it's mixed.
And then you have the capability as you upgrade your beast technology to have 2 beasts going out with every march. Like
the support beast.
Wait a second. Hold on. Time out.
My pet has a pet.
My pet has a pet? What is this? I don't get it. Since when do Pokemon own Pokemon? This is not how it's supposed to go. I swear to God, the moment they bring out a Master Ball, I'm done. I'm walking away.
Definitely. It was honestly like the addition of beasts and then like the whole thing with the radar station pass.
Where is that, by the way? Have you seen that?
Yes. No, that's why I was like, the update is here. Where is that?
Yeah, where's my give me some more ways to spend money. Where's this?
Yeah.
I'm sick of going through and having to do the radar. I want to auto do it.
Yeah, I was the same. I would never do it, and then like a few members in the alliance roasted me for it. And I was like, okay, fine, I'm just gonna do it.
It's like the battlegrounds or the bounty ground. Do you do the bounty ground? No.
I leave it on auto. I'm not gonna lie. I don't actively play as much, but I match it and then I'm just doing my daily stuff.
Yeah, you just AFK it. I get it.
Yeah.
But at least you clear it out every week, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Good. As long as you're clearing it out every week, that's fine. I
felt the judgy vibes,
Oh, trust me, they were there. No, but like I used to not do it at all. I used to never do bounty
Uh-huh.
ground. I used to think it was the biggest waste of time because all you ever got
Mhm.
was like 5 frags and that was it.
Yeah.
But now you're getting frags. Now you're getting honing components. Now you're getting survivors, things as well. And you're getting
Mm-hmm.
armament selection. Like, now it's worth it. They've made it worth it. You should do your bounty ground every week. To those listening
And
at
I feel
home,
like
sorry, just leave me a second. To those listening at home, I'm talking to you directly. If you haven't done your bounty ground yet, go do your damn bounty ground. Okay.
I feel like for low spenders or free players, it's a great way to get gems as well because they're always looking for ways to earn gems
Yep. And it's
and speed ups.
and it's free. And it's free. It doesn't cost you anything.
Exactly. Exactly. It's free. Why do people not understand that?
Listen, I agree. Water war can be a bit of a headache. I agree that matchmaking in both bounty ground and water war can be a headache. But here's the thing:
Mm-hmm.
7 letters. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's free. That's as easy as it. Anytime you put "it's free," there's pretty good opportunities. I'm there, even if it's a swift kick in the pants. If it's a free swift kick in the pants, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? If I don't gotta
Yeah.
pay for it, I will accept it.
Count me in. Count me in.
That's right. Give me my free
Because
stuff.
honestly, like it's a great way to get armaments.
And with how impactful armaments are,
Mm-hmm.
it's a place you should be going every single week. I know it's a headache. I know it's a pain in the butt, but you will thank me when you're sitting on a 5-star helmet or a 5-star backpack or a 5-star pants. You'll thank me when you're sitting with a 4.5 or a 5 million liter hero, being able to tromp your enemies.
Honestly, and I don't know if you've noticed, we do not get armament trackers from a lot of places. It's very rare.
In
And we get like
well,
uh, 5 of them from Bounty Wheel
yep,
every week.
yep.
That is a great opportunity.
In the last, I guess it would be 6 weeks since the last TC for infantry,
Mm-hmm.
I've managed to save up 129, I think, armament searches in that entire time. So they do not come around very often.
They really do not. Because in that same time, I could have saved up like 1,000 of those blue chips.
Yep. Yep. Or at least 200 of the honing armaments, the purple ones.
Yeah, I did. I saved up like 200 in 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can now. You get 20 every week just from the arena,
Arena, yeah.
which is awesome. And I'll be the first one to tell you, when I first got the arena updates, I was a little nervous about them because of the rewards. But I definitely think they banged it on that one. The rewards are much better in the arena than they were before.
Definitely. I really do like it. I'm a little sad about the cut down on the amount of carbon.
Well,
But
the carbon is still about the same that you get. It's not much of a less comparison because you got 120 and then 90, but you didn't get 15 before. You only got 10. So you're ending up still getting about the same amount of carbon. But what I don't like about the TC is the fact that it's, or not TC, sorry, for the arena, is the fact that it's
mhm.
so much harder to like stay within that sweet spot where you're getting the good rewards.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times it's like I'm pushing, I get to the superbs, and then the next week a week later I'm down to only the one rack I've lost twice in a row. Like, how? Where's my balance? Where's this?
Oh yeah, that's really difficult.
I shouldn't be facing people with 50 million marches at 22 million like, that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, exactly. I was just barely like 19 million might in the arena, and I was facing people with 44 million might. I was like,
Yeah.
what the hell is going on?
Of course I'm going to be ranked 170th or something stupid. Of course I'm going to be ranked there when you pair me with these people.
Yeah, and then you're just dropping in levels and the rewards are reducing, and I was like, huh, really?
This is not fair now. This is not fair.
Yeah. I just wanted to sit in a corner somewhere and just like cry.
Listen, it got so bad once on my farm account that I couldn't even get the honing chips.
Oh no.
I know. I was like, how am I doing? No, play harder. Come on. At least need my 20 honing chips.
Yeah, because honing chips are honestly very important now. Like with everything else that is going on,
Yep.
strong heroes are so important because otherwise you're just like crushed in the field.
You don't understand how impactful armaments are until you get
Mm-hmm.
past 3 million. Once you get a hero that crosses that 3 million threshold,
Mm-hmm.
you really start to see how important armaments are. And I think that's
Yeah.
and then that kind of goes to show, the strength of the developers. And I got to give them credit for this because armaments were one of the first things that were released in regards to the scaling. And yet
Mm-hmm.
they are still the pinnacle thing that determines a win in your march. Like we can talk about your
Yeah.
vehicles all day, blah, blah, blah. Sure. But even having a 3 million or a 4 million vehicle isn't going to compare you against a 6 million hero. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
there's some
definitely.
massive ways for those swings to happen.
Because just the day like we're in Ireland right now. Uh just the day I went up against this 127 million might guy,
Yep.
and he was attacking me with like I had only one troop like there, my infantry with the 50% squad capacity
Sure.
increase, and he was attacking me with like three squads. But because I have been working on my armaments and I've been honing them according to my fighting style,
Yeah.
I was able to survive longer than I would have a week ago.
Week ago, week ago. Isn't there a song that has that in there? I think. I don't want to get demonetized, but it's like there's like a week ago. I don't know. Whatever. That's my ADHD. Give it a break. Whatever. I don't want to get demonetized. Week ago. Yeah, well, it's kind of funny you mentioned that because even what I've been noticing as well is like as you focus on having, and this is what I try to tell everybody, you want to hyper focus your lines, you want to hyper focus your marches, you want to make sure that if you're gonna have that one march in the field, you want it to be able to hit like a freaking Mack truck type thing, right? And
Yeah.
once I started to realize that, I started to see how impactful my one march can be. Like I've got a Bodala that's at like 3.5 million, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll take him in the field with Miyamoto or with the Dut, for example, and just sit back and watch as you get swarmed by 2 or 3 or 4 marches, and you're still able to have decent trades with all of them,
Yeah.
right? And as long as you're
That's what
focusing
like
on, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
that's what like so because a lot of people did not know the importance of armaments, so they were always asking questions on the alliance chat. An R4 member of ours actually sent a mail about it and explained like point to point why armaments are important, what to do and what not to do.
Yeah, armaments is
Because
still one of
honestly,
yeah. Go ahead.
because people, I feel like what they do is they spread out their armaments a lot instead of focusing on just one hero. So they end up with like five average squads instead of one really good squad.
Right. And this becomes the biggest thing that I've actually had conversations with people when it comes to armaments. Because
Mm-hmm.
they're putting armaments on their co-leaders as well. And they're putting
Yeah.
armaments on everybody. And I'm sitting there going,
Mm-hmm.
guys, that's not how this works.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, your co-leader doesn't give a shit. Your co-leader only brings their skills. They don't bring their talent tree. They don't bring anything else. They bring their skills, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have to have armaments. They don't have to have heroes. They don't have to have beasts. They don't have to have anything else, right?
That's
Because
just BS mind.
100%, it's fake might. It's inflating it
Mm-hmm.
and making your matchmaking worse. So
Mm-hmm.
what I've done just recently, and I say just recently, it was probably 3 or 4 months ago, I
Mm-hmm.
literally dismantled all of my purple armaments except for
Mm-hmm.
farming armaments, except for
Mm-hmm.
armaments used to farm. Because
Mm-hmm.
one other thing you find out in this game is that farming is super important. As
Yeah,
much as we
definitely.
all hate it, it's super, super important. So I have all of my farmers are decked out with farming equipment, but I have no other purple armaments. Everything else has been basically, recycled to get me
Mm-hmm.
as many gold armaments as I can, as many legendary fragments as I can. So I really only have one good punching line, right? My Bodala Miyamoto. I've got one good tank line. I've got Thunder and Riven both awakened.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's it. That's it. The rest, my riders are used specifically for joining rallies and garrisons. My ranged are used specifically for joining rallies and garrisons. So I don't even have ranged or riders armaments except for the superbs. Right? So I've kept my superbs because you're always going to collect free superbs. So as you collect them, they're going to rank up your riders in your range line anyway. But I have literally I've basically consolidated all of my fragments to have the strongest line that I have. So my garrison line is 2.5 million. My fighting line is 3.5 million. And that's really all that matters. I can move those armaments around and still have 2 fighting lines if I want to take them out. Right? But I still have my garrison that I can keep in a tower. And I still have 1 line that I'm going to be still out there buffing, debuffing, and doing damage.
Yeah, so that's what I did as well. Like just this past week, I recently like dismantled all of it. Like anything that wasn't on my leader heroes, I dismantled it.
Yep.
Like if I can't use it to upgrade, I don't want it.
Yep.
I would rather like spend it in the armament store and get like some more fragments from it.
For the parts that you need, yep.
Yeah, so that's what I did. I dismantled everything, but I do keep like armaments on my riders because during AR when we're collecting cement, it helps. Like I've honed it in a way that it increases speed.
Yeah.
So it really helps, when you're collecting cement and running back.
Obviously there's going to be benefits to keeping some of those armaments. I was simply looking at it going, especially now that I have tier 5 ranged and riders, they're never going to see the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I take them out in the field and they get focused first, they get sent home and they do nothing but fill my hospital. So I never take them out. So if I'm never taking them out, why do I have armaments on my rider heroes that I'm never ever going to use?
Because in a rally or garrison, your hero armaments or any of their trades don't matter.
Exactly. So I have no ranged armaments. I have no rider armaments. It's all been hyper focused onto infantry. I mean, at the end of the day, even if I had 5 infantry marches on the field, that's going to be okay too. That's totally a manageable thing, knowing that my ranged and my riders aren't near as potent. So I'm dumping everything I have into infantry to making sure that those infantry marches are tanky, still do damage, have the good garrison that you need, and then still run rallies if I need to. I still have Stella that I'm working on, right? So I'll still have that capability.
Yeah, that is something like, I would like to like talk about when we talk about like what troop type we're focusing on.
Yep.
A lot of people mistake that and take it as okay, infantry is my main focus. I'm going to focus on the hero, but at the same time I can make other heroes stronger. That's where they go wrong.
You need to, as much as you're hyper focusing your troops and you're hyper focusing your tech and you're hyper focusing your armaments, you really have to hyper focus your heroes as well. You should be looking at the selection of heroes that are available and start to plan where it is that you want to be. Because, and this brings up a whole other conversation. The whole point that says, when you talk about tier lists or you talk about hero rankings and things like that, it's impossible to actually do a good tier list or it's impossible to do a good ranking because there's so much context to this game. It's not just throw your heroes out, best heroes are going to win, blah, blah, blah. There's so many layers to technology, to research, to armaments, to how calculations are done, to everything else. There's so much context to that you need to know more about it. So when people come to me and say, well, who's the best hero? The question I always respond with, what are you trying to do?
Exactly. Right? Like it all depends on your fighting style.
Yep. And what you're trying to accomplish.
Will vary. Yeah. Because for me, honestly, I know a lot of people went crazy when Thunder was released because he was a great tank hero. Everyone went for him, trying to awaken him. But I was like, if I'm not gonna lead Garrison, why do I need him?
Exactly. Yep.
If I'm gonna be a field fighter, I'm gonna try to focus on heroes that are more, accommodating to that style.
Or more accessible in that experience.
Yeah. Because honestly, Thunder is very slow in field, and I feel like okay, he can fight longer in swarms or during PvP, but is he actually doing as much damage as the other hero that you're choosing over him?
No. So the thing with Thunder is that he is the most expensive hero in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that not because of what it costs to awaken him. He's no,
Mm-hmm.
it's nothing special to awaken him or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But because his heal is so potent, he ends up
Mm-hmm.
sending more heroes to the hospital, subsequently more heroes to the aid station. And
Mm-hmm.
so he's one of the most expensive heroes in the cost of maintenance. He's still great, don't get me wrong, right? He's still tanky. He still provides a ton of time for you to get your counter rallies on, a ton of time to be able to wear down other rallies, to be able to swarm the attacking rallies and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But because he sends so many more troops to the hospital or so many more troops to the aid station, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, right? He's a
Yeah.
great hero, but he's got such a big caveat that he's not nearly as impactful as he was before. And then when
Yeah.
they released Julia, which basically cut Thunder's healing down a huge with the silence,
Mm-hmm.
it started to shift that away from him being as influential as he is. And now he's almost not seen anywhere. Like even in the top ranges, you're going to see Ryger or Riven over Thunder Riven.
Yeah. Actually, we've had this conversation a lot. We have people in the alliance always asking, like, what combinations are good, or like, what heroes should I choose for TC? I'm participating soon. And I always tell them that, it totally depends on your fighting style. Are you gonna lead Garrison?
Yeah.
Then you go for Thunder, because Thunder is a good Garrison hero. At the level we are in, because even now we're in G84. So at this level, I feel like Thunder is still a good hero in
Yep.
comparison to G1.
Yep.
So yeah, like if you're gonna lead Garrison, please go for Thunder. Otherwise, please try to look at the skills and look at the talent tree according to the fighting style you're going to adopt.
Yeah. It's easy for me to say who is better, but it's hard
Mm-hmm.
for me to give you who is better for you. And I
Yeah.
think that's what everyone's asking for. They're asking, well, who's the best pick for me? And in
Mhm.
order for me to know that, I have to be in your head. I have to know a lot more. Like, what are you trying to accomplish? And I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand. It's not just about which hero is the best. The real question
Mhm.
is, which hero is the best at this, at that,
Mhm.
at this? You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Where's
And
that
I mean,
context?
like a hero like Robert, for example, for infantry, he is quite underrated according to me.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
after he's awakened, he's a great hero.
He's how do I put this? It's not that he's a bad hero. It's just that his position gets put out by better ones. So
Hmm.
Robert was out and available in a time when he was really kind of the only choice. And then they released Adut, and then they released Miyamoto, and now they've released Bodala, and all three of these heroes do what Robert does, only better. So it's not that
Yeah.
Robert is a bad hero, it's just that there are other options. And I think that's kind of the biggest thing that they've done throughout this game. So it's not that Thunder is bad, it's that Riven is better. It's not that Robert is bad, it's that Bodala is better. It's not that Lynn is bad, it's that Sophia is better. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, because like for example, for us, we're focused on infantry. If we're gonna go out with 3 squads, we need 6 good heroes for that. So like we can definitely go for Robert because he is one of the better heroes compared to the first gen heroes, I would say.
Yep. And
So I
and they
feel like
it
that's why I say like he's underrated because
for
in
sure.
field I feel like he'll do very good with the perfect combination.
You put Robert and Eddie, for example, together, and
Hmm.
that by its own right is a decent line. You can run good rallies with that.
Hmm.
You can still fight in the field with that. It's a decent line. If you run Bodala and Miyamoto together, that by its own right, again, a decent line, right? So there's potential in Robert being that third leader
Hmm.
because there are other ways to pair Bodala and Adut or Bodala and
Hmm.
Miyamoto to get the benefits out of both of them.
Hmm.
So there's absolute value in what you're saying. I totally agree with that. And I think that's one of the better things that the developers have done when it comes to the heroes that they've developed.
Hmm.
There is a lot of utility throughout their hero spectrum. There's a lot of mobility, right? A lot of heroes aren't pigeonholed specifically to being just rally heroes or just garrison heroes until we start to get to these newer ones that are being released, which in my opinion are pretty pigeonholed to what they're doing.
Don't get me started on that. I'm really like, we had this conversation before you started recording. or you forgot to hit record.
Don't tell me
I am
that. Don't tell them that. I don't make mistakes here. No, that didn't happen,
So,
folks.
yeah,
It's not like we actually
just
recorded half of this conversation and then didn't record it because I didn't hit the record button. That didn't happen at all, folks. Nope.
yeah,
No.
it didn't. I was just saying, like, I was just imagining a scenario in my head. Um, what was I thinking? But anyways, like, oh, what the hell is up with like upgrading these new S rank heroes? It takes almost as much as Marco.
Yeah. Yeah, you're talking about the transcending and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think you need something like an extra, what is it, 200, 300, 4, I think it's like an extra 500 or 490 frags or something like that to upgrade them fully transcended.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And so it's like 1.5 times. But here's the difference, right? If you look at Marco versus these transcended heroes, the transcended heroes are better than Marco,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
So,
I'm not like disagreeing with that,
yeah.
but I was just like comparing, like, like Marco costs about like 1,400 fragments to upgrade fully. And these heroes are costing 1,200 about there.
Plus the
And they're
transcended
not any,
nodes.
yeah, so it's not any better.
Yeah. It's
Like
true. It's true.
especially for low spenders or free players, like it takes a lot of saving up. And by the time they've saved up enough to like transcend them, we have like a mountain of new heroes on our head.
Yeah, now we've got Sophie and Ethan to worry about.
Yeah, like
Stella just came out. Give me some time.
like I want to pull my hair out.
Stella just came out. Give me some time.
It was just November and we have new heroes now. I feel like next month we'll have new rider heroes as well. And Jay-Z was like, what, October?
Yeah, just recently. She's still swinging strong. What are we talking about? She hasn't gone out anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And they just like all these new upgrades and updates. It's really driving me crazy. Like, let me catch up. Let me like catch my breath.
Well, and that's actually a really interesting comment, Pixel, because that brings us kind of back to what the whole concept of what the common ideology is. Just give me 1 second here.
Sure.
Sorry, my wife is just taking a dab and she's dying silently beside me, so I'm just trying to make sure that not everybody gets the same the same dying conversation. Yeah, you can still hear her dying over a little bit. What were we talking about now?
The new upgrades and updates.
Uh-huh.
And how like I really do not remember. You made me laugh.
ADHD, man. I'm telling you, this is what happens. ADHD comes in and it like, woo, takes you on a totally different, squirrel. That's just what happens. But anyways, that all being said, we are now at over 50 minutes. Can you believe we've been recording now for almost 50 minutes? It has gone by so quickly.
Yeah.
So at this point, I am going to ask you an important question that I'd like to know answers to. And that important question is this. If you had the IGG developer's ear, let's say hypothetically they stumbled across your episode of Who TF Are You and they were actually listening at this point and they were listening with intent, what advice would you tell the developers to give Doomsday the best chance at longevity in the system? What advice would you give developers?
The first thing I would say is slow down. Honestly, I feel like everything is too fast and furious. Like, they're releasing updates left and right, and it's become really, really chaotic at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And it's taking a lot out of the players. Like I've heard from players say like players are saying that it's become like work. They're coming in to do their dailies and they end up staying on the game for like 3 hours, 4 hours, and it's crazy at this point. My only advice would be to like really slow down. Like give people a chance to catch up before releasing something new.
100%.
Honestly, for me, please remove the beasts. Like
so slow down and can the beasts. Put Pokemon back on the shelf.
Pets. Yeah, pets have pets. Like what the hell? Just
Do you hear that, developers? This is not only the first and last person to say this, but this is a consistent thought process. Slow down. Let us enjoy your creation. Let us play the damn game before you throw us a goddamn rainbow road. Okay? Give us the chance to experience the controls before you start changing them on us. Okay? Let us enjoy the creation that you have made so that we can, in turn, spend our useful ducats and increase our might just a little bit more. Okay?
Yeah, let us catch up.
Exactly. Let us catch up. That's a great idea, a great sentiment. And truth be told, I wish it was a new idea, but that is the common understanding from the player base.
Yeah.
From almost everybody I speak to, they say the same thing. They pretty much say, slow down, give us some time, let the game digest for a little bit. Like, you could not drop releases for 6 months and people would still be happy. Do you know what I mean? Like, that would be...
It would be very easy for us to say, like, bring this in, bring that in. But, like, at this point, we're already, like, so behind on all the updates. Like, we're still not, like, caught up. It would be crazy to suggest, like, we suggest to them that, you bring something new in.
Yeah, when we're asking you to take stuff out because there's too much... That should be an understanding for the developers to, like, hit the stop button. You know what I mean? Like, just pause the production. You know what I mean? Take a break. Go take a holiday. You guys have earned it.
Yep. Or, just for a bit, like a year maybe.
Yeah, just go kick your feet up in, I don't know, Thailand or something. You know what I mean? Just go sit on the beach.
Exactly. We're okay with the monthly skin. The shelter skins, those were really good.
Yeah, those give us those ones and just slow down a little bit. Pump the brakes.
Yeah. Don't make us cry when you give us those 3-day shelter skins, please.
Yeah, they're never. Listen, those coupons are never getting used. Okay, they're sitting in my bag forever, as a reminder to how little I tried. You know what I mean? How close I was to acquiring it fully. I think the closest
I ever... more like that, but more accessible.
It's true. And then let those skins... Just give us the skins. Fuck you guys. Just give us the skins.
Let us enjoy it. Reward us. We worked very hard.
Even if we haven't, you put some ads in. I don't care. Give me some free shit. I'm fine.
Put some ads. Aren't they doing that enough with the event, like the Ducky event, the Marco and Eddie event?
That's true. Subsequent advertising for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So just like give us those skins now.
Yeah, I mean, you've done your advertising. We absorbed the content. Just give it to us now. It's fair.
Yeah. Fair is fair, man. It's give and take.
That's right. That's right. I give, you take. It's a fair experience. That's how this game is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap it up for us today here out of the Hi Guys channel. I want to thank Pixelcookie again so much for joining us here. It has been an absolute blast getting to know you. I hope you've had fun too. If you have anything else, I do want to give you one last bit of a space here to give a shout out to any of your friends or to your alliance mates or your alliance or anything like that. Or anything else that you got going on. I heard you got a YouTube you got going on there, so if you want to blast your YouTube, feel free to do that as well. Take some time and just, let us know where to find you.
My YouTube name is Pixelcookie, and you can just find me by that name. And my content mostly focuses on stuff for free players and low spenders. So I hope you guys find that useful. And I would really, really like to give a shout out to all of my friends at my Alliance EFR, because without their support, I would not be where I am.
Awesome.
So thank you guys so much. And I want to thank you, Chris, because honestly, this was a very fun experience. I laughed a lot and It was a fun conversation, honestly.
Good. I think that's the hardest thing for me to get across to people, because when I ask people to sit down with me, their whole concept is that they're not funny enough or they're not entertaining enough. And the truth is, you don't have to be. That's my job. That's what I do. And as long as you have an opinion, I'm going to be able to pull the rest of that information out of you, and we're going to have a good time in the process. So I do want to say,
just be yourself. So it just like flows.
That's right. It's all just about letting the communication, letting the ADHD do its thing. and then just having a good time in the process. And I really do appreciate you taking the time. You know, we are brand new in the new year, so I know that there's a lot going on with people's schedules. So I want to say thanks a lot for scheduling us in. And, you know, going on from there, I look forward to seeing you in the battlefield. You know, we're right around the same might, so let's swing for the fences, tier 6 against tier 6, hey?
Let's hope we never see each other in the battlefield, because I'm not going against you. You sound crazy.
I like to fight. I like to bang and brawl. That's what I do, so.
Yeah, so let's hope we never see each other in the battlefield, but on the EC.
Or if we do see each other in the battlefield, we make sure to ally. Okay, we'll ally instead. We'll be friends.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, we'll be friends instead. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for tuning in. It has been an absolute blast here with Pixelcookie. I am going to say one last thing before we go. Welcome to 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first interview of 2025, and I want to say welcome and welcome to another great year. We are going to be continuing this process of meeting average, everyday people, as well as some of the top creams of the crop. I do have in my schedule the chance to sit down with the one and only Zed Doomsday, as well as the one and only Armament GG. So they will hopefully both be in the recordings here in the foreseeable future. Look out for those ones. Other than that, folks, thanks very much for tuning in. Like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to fill out the notification bell whenever so you can get any new content that we get. Love, peace, chicken grease, and until next time, stay lifted.